Hands on helmet. 10 seconds.
Welcome. I'm Chris McKean.
And I'm Andy Kiner.
We're all about cross-country racing. And normally or typically it may start with 10 seconds.
But not in Iowa. In Iowa it starts with hands-on helmets. God, I can't wait for that.
I know. We're getting closer. I renamed, the name of the podcast the Road to Round One because it feels like we're all ready to go and then it's wait mode again, which isn't bad. We got to cross our T's and dot our I's on some stuff behind the scenes, so can't complain, but we'll get started.
Yeah, I think it might even been a blessing for us. We would have been fine, but it just gave us this little extra time. Like you said, you're doing a lot of work behind the scenes on that pre-registration stuff still. And now like the track and the trailers, they're all ready to go. That's not an issue. I think it's more like registration stuff it's been nice to have an extra couple of weeks.
It was nice. It was going to be a crunch mode, but now we got to retest everything again. So got our new addition for the Easy Up TV, I guess you can say. It was tested last last Wednesday. My son and I were testing it, so everything's working good. Glad to have something new for this year.
Yeah, no, I think it looks good too. It looks really good. You were doing a lot of testing Saturday too, weren't you? Or Sunday?
That was previous week, yeah.
Okay, I thought it was time flies.
Yeah. So,
yeah. So scoring's already with all the new stuff. You got the TV. It's going to be on the tent, correct?
Yep, it's going to be on the Easy Up coming through scoring. So, and we'll have also the TV kind of off in the distance, right on the same side of the scoring trailer, but something easier and closer for both the racer and for us to read for backup scoring. So,
I know I'm guilty as when I walk up there, you've called me or I'm coming up to ask a question, walking in front. I always feel bad. And a rider comes through and it's like, dang it, I was right in front of where he needed to see. So that should be eliminating a lot of that stuff too.
And it will be weather permitting. Of course, if it's raining, we'll have to come with something different.
Can you move
we're not gonna. Yep, we could.
You know what I mean? Where the tent covers it. Now, that's probably another good reason to get everybody slowed down coming through there too, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, but it'll be off to the side where helmets won't hit them. Nothing like that, right?
It should be.
Yeah.
As long as everybody's sitting down. So.
Cool.
Yeah, excited. So what's happened to you last week? Nothing special?
Not really. Rain's kind of kept us from doing some of the stuff that we want to do. And but couldn't get to a track. We really wanted to get down to Corden. Wasn't able to do that. So yeah, but the forecast looks, I see there's rain next Wednesday, Thursday possibly or something, but in between it looks pretty good. The amounts don't look too bad. So I think it's going to be a perfect race, but still too early to talk about that.
Knocking on wood over here. Don't want to jinx us again.
Yeah. But this is really it. We got one more shot at this and that's it.
Yep.
So
yeah, a lot of people don't know that when we came up with the schedule. We had these 2 dates, and those were the only 2 dates that we can get this race in. We can't make it happen. We'll have to forgo round 1.
You know what? It's been really nice. Typically, when we have to postpone a race or something like that, you get, people just don't see the back behind stuff that goes on to all the working and getting it, you know what I mean, as far as figuring out a date, and stuff. And you always get kind of I call it the dirty dozen, kind of louder than all the rest of the racers, upset. But we really hadn't heard that this time. And I think I've only heard of like 3 or 4 people, one being my grandson that can't make it now because of the rain date. It doesn't work, but at least it was out there from the beginning. So people had an idea, when it was going to be. So, but yeah, nothing but good things so far. And looks like numbers look really good. So,
yeah, I don't have a total count as far as like prepaids. It's up there. I want to say it's somewhere around 115. But a total of between the questionnaire and the pre-entries or prepaids off the website, I got 199 people. So numbers are there. Doesn't mean everybody's going to make every round or can make round 1 now, but numbers are there.
Yeah. No, I think it should be good.
Which we'll go over. I mean, kind of an off-the-cuff podcast tonight. We do have a guest, but then I threw together a couple slides of potentially those that are racing this year and what classes they'll be in. We can kind of highlight, see how the year's going to go, and maybe select a pick or 2, right?
Yeah. We make it sound like we're not organized.
What time did you get on to get ready?
Oh, plenty of time, and we had discussion and stuff before, so I'm not looking at the clock all the time. So
yeah.
So did you have that one that I asked you to put together? Do you have it available now?
Which one?
With
the one for
Knoxville?
this? Yeah.
I wasn't sure if you had it in the beginning or the end. I want to make sure we are still organized. So
Yeah.
I just want to bring this up real quick. We got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight, and I promised to keep it at an hour tonight. So, but Chris, I am like blown away. I am got to be out of town this Saturday night. So I don't get to go to the opening night of Knoxville. But if you look at that picture, especially the one right in the middle, I didn't even realize the one over to the right. That's really cool. He's got his helmet sitting on the right rear with the logo in there.
Yeah.
On the car. But I think they have just knocked it out of the park. That car looks so good. It's just not your standard all white, all red, all blue. It's I just really like that car. Really
Now,
cool. But
correct me if I'm wrong. Did his dad used to run something similar, like red black scheme?
yep.
And Jack's
So-
kind of just threw in the yellow because I believe his dad, right?
Yeah, so they had the red, but his dad Johnny, he had the yellow also.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just a red car with yellow, but it was 7A.
Yeah.
The reason that is, I think I heard Jack wanting to go a different color, like black or something. But in that family, I still remember his grandpa telling me the first time Big Jack was that race cars are red. So that's why they've always had red race cars. So, but no, I just want to throw it out there, but it's really, really cool. The car, it's a little bit of honor thing for everybody going down to watch with the series logo on there and stuff. And Jack is so good. You've seen that firsthand, with the kids, and you go down there and usually there's not a bigger pit than Anderson's because of that, the way he acts and treats them, and the whole family's, behind it and stuff. And it's just really cool. But I just want to throw that up there real quick because the big thing that Knoxville's doing, I can't believe this still. Never, ever in my lifetime have I ever remembered this. Now, maybe it's happened and I just wasn't available to go. But this Saturday, opening night, right? Free grandstand. Everybody gets in free. That's unbelievable. So, of course, I can't go. If I would have went, I would have bought your ticket this weekend, though, Chris.
I was just going to say that I'll use your ticket and give it away to somebody else.
True. Yep.
Yeah.
So, no, just want to throw that out there. If everybody gets a chance, or we don't have a race this weekend. I think there's a GNCC though, isn't there? I think there is. I know there wasn't last weekend with Easter.
Yeah, let's be rump. Is this 5 or 6? I'm already lost track.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Somebody will correct us.
But if you don't have anything else to do, it's a fun night to get run down to Knoxville, cheer on the series car and Jack, and second year in the 410. So it's gonna be pretty cool. So,
all right.
Of course, we can't go next weekend either, can we? Damn. No. That's why we're trying to get the race in first before the season started. Darn it. So yeah, what do you got tonight?
Tonight we have our guest Sabrina Bogren going to join us. So we can go ahead and bring her on. I think you're going to interview her.
Do whatever. Hello.
Hey.
Hey, Sabrina. Chris was just kind of going over some of the questions he had for you.
Okay.
No. She can hear in the background.
So Sabrina, you and I have been talking a lot lately on the mount. Tell us real quick though. So obviously, Sabrina Bogren, you own Atomic Photography, right?
Atomic ATV Photography, but yes.
Atomic ATV Photography. I knew Chris told me something wrong, but anyway, but where do you? So all of our races are now basically in southern Iowa or northern Missouri. Okay, so you're close to all the races, though, right? You don't have to drive very far at all.
Unfortunately, no. I live in the western Chicago suburbs, so Mount Pleasant is the closest one now at 4.5 hours, and then Trenton will be a little over 6 hours. So it's a haul, but it's something that we really enjoy doing. My husband races, if you don't know him, and he's super passionate about it. And that's how I got into the photography of it. And even if he's not racing, I'm still planning on coming out to take photos.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, that's a huge commitment. We've had, Chris probably knows the number of them, but over the years, I'm going to say 3 to 4 official photographers. Yeah. I'm gonna say somewhere around there, 3 at least. Yeah. But for some reason, they've all been closer than the Chicago area. So that just blows me away every time, I talk to you as if on the phone and everything. It's just like you're right next door, and it's just crazy thinking that you're that far away, but we sure appreciate you coming, the dedication, that you're putting into it by being at these races, driving that far. But, I don't think there's a lot of people that realize when you're the official photographer, okay? So we lean on you for a lot of things, and not just, we're talking about photography number one tonight, but what people don't realize is, if anybody gives me credit for anything that comes out on the social media, that's wrong, isn't it, Sabrina?
Sometimes Chris also helps, but anything that's like a graphic, like the whole shot challenge, I did that graphic at the bottom, which was pretty simple. But the 2026 schedule flyer, I made that. So stuff that's a little more design oriented. And then the podcast graphic I made too.
So and the podcast video you've made too.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So we lean on you for a lot of stuff, for pictures, for different stuff, for sponsors and everything. So obviously we do that because one, we like you. Okay, that's number one. But number two, your photography, and I hope you don't take this the wrong way. I'm just being honest live. Chris loves it when I do this, but from the time that you started taking them to like this last year, I mean, it's different. It's like you can tell that you've just taken leaps and bounds, and not that they were ever bad before, but I guess if I can speak openly, I think it was just kind of like the person being there just wanting to take photography. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Not literally geared in to what you're doing now. And it just, to me, it's just like, I'm amazed. You've came a long ways. Like I said, not that it was bad before, but it's cool that when we see this stuff, the growth, that goes into it. And you and I talked about this, but I think so many times photography gets kind of like forgotten about, or you don't realize how important. I'll use example. My mom used to take photos, and when we went to races, I really didn't care about my photos. Now, all of a sudden, I look at the photos out in the shop with when I used to race, which a long time ago, especially when Chris used to race. But but it's like, man, you remember this race and such, and I got one out there that we're going through the water. I mean, Fender High, and it just, all of a sudden you start telling those stories, and it's just hard, I think, to, when you are actually out there racing or you're at a race, to think about down the road, and our races come and go, but the memories are basically in your hands when it comes to remembering this stuff, and oh yeah, I do remember that. And we have proof, with pictures that Chris did race, a lot of people just don't believe that, so, but no, I can't thank you enough. Like I said, I feel like I'm blown away by the effort that I see you put in and the time behind the sorting of pictures and stuff. But I also think that I'm probably not seeing half of what you're doing behind the scenes, and people always look at the finished product, say, oh, that's cool, such and such. And you might even get some, it's hard to say this, but you might get some that want to copy what you're doing, but that's kind of the ultimate, flattery, I guess you call it, isn't it? That, so, it's cool though. And like I said, no, everybody sees a finished product, but don't see the start to the finish to get that. And that's behind the scenes. I mean, I really hate to give Chris credit on this, but it's kind of like what I've noticed with scoring this year and registration. I truly did not ever believe what went into it. I mean, I didn't think Chris was doing that much,
Oh.
Yeah. And now, I mean, this year, the changes and the updates, and just the other night we were talking, he's like, I'm 6 hours into it. I should have this done a little bit. It's like, blows me away. And that same thing I know has to happen with the photography and the behind the scenes and, and stuff. So that's just really cool. I hope people do realize, that you are there. You've got some cool stuff we're going to talk about here in a second, but that you are driving, 6 hours roughly to these races, and only to do it for that. I mean, I know Nick races, but I think Nick gets to race because you have to be there, right?
That's what it sounds like now.
And you guys do the number plates and stuff too, and that's cool because, I know, like with Chris for years, we have people show up and just don't have a number panel, and Chris has always provided the ones there that you can grab if you don't have one real quick. And it's been a blessing, and now that we have, they can always get it in the graphics company, but now that you and Nick are doing the other ones, they're kind of flexible too, aren't they? If I remember right.
Yeah, I don't have one next to me, but he has a new plastic that.
Get your assistant ready.
Yeah, come on.
I seen him running.
He's grabbing one.
He can only be that fast on the track, right?
Exactly. Maybe he would win B class this year.
My own.
Yeah, this is actually his that he's going to put on his quad that he just printed, but you can bend it. And so instead of like a hard plastic that'll instantly shatter, it kind of takes a little bit of the impact. So
nice.
We'll just throw up his graphics. So it's BogrenMotorsports.com, right?
It is.
All right. See?
We've had a lot of new people sign up lately, and I've sent every one of them. So if you want to get a plate that's going to last and stuff, grab it, So hopefully you're getting some more orders in there, but that's really cool. So now he's what is that 3D printing that?
Yeah. It's kind of hard to see, but there's different layers to it.
Yeah.
And so it prints each layer, and then like the 3 colored ones, he actually has to sit there and monitor it because he has to manually do the color change. So he'll sit next to the printer for a few hours to swap between the 3 different colors. I think it's like Junior that has that orange strip.
Yeah.
But he
Sounds
puts
like
a
a
lot
job
of
for
time
me.
and effort into it to make sure it turns out good quality.
Well, I know Chris saves a lot of racers' butts when it comes to, oh crap, I don't have them. I got to have them so they can grab them right then. But how close is he to, you were saying something about putting that in a trailer and then him being able to do it at the race on race day? Is that right?
That would probably be a little too difficult just because it takes about like 6 hours or so to do a print start to finish.
Gotcha.
But maybe if you brought it for Friday and someone ordered it Friday.
There you go.
But
Yep.
yeah, maybe we'll get a trailer one day. That would be cool.
Gotcha. So you guys got a lot going on behind the scenes for a series that's 6 hours away from you.
Yeah.
When I tell people our photographers in Chicago, it's like, what? Like it's crazy. So tell us a little bit about, you and I were talking about, it's just tough because there's so many people that go out and take their camera and take pictures, and it's easy just to give them away, but it's hard when, gosh, you were telling me how much some of your lenses are. It's like, it's crazy. And I'll be honest. Yeah, I'll be honest with everybody. I tell everybody, if it's free, that's really nice. But to me, it just, I don't know. It's, you know what I mean? It's easy to make it look cheap. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And for what you're doing, the time put in, I mean, God, I hope people take advantage of that and look it up. But tell us a little bit about what you got going for this year, some packages that you've came up with.
Right before I talk about that, I actually had a brand new lens that came in like an hour before the podcast.
Oh, wow.
And so it's pretty much the same thing as my normal lens. I have a distance lens and I just got a little bit closer lens. So I can do awards photography now at the end of each race and get the same quality, but I'll be able to be a lot closer. And then I can also do the starting line photos. I haven't been able to do that just because I have to be like 15 to 20 feet back with the big lens. And so when they're all lined up, it's really hard to do that. But now I can be standing right next to the racer on the starting line and get that nice photo.
Nice.
So that's a big change for this year. And
if I was in charge of this podcast, I would have had a drum roll or a clapping thing for you or something when you announced that, but we're not that organized, I guess. So.
It's okay.
There you go. Okay. So tell us what you got going.
So this year I'm moving to more of a bundled focused selling point. I've seen a lot of other types of racing, so car racing, motorcycle racing, even some dirt bike, motocross. A lot of those photographers do bundle deals. And I talked to Andy about it last week to see what his opinion was on that. And he had a lot of really good ideas for me. And I want to try to get more photos.
You said it again. Chris didn't hear you.
I can't. It's a one-time thing. So I want to try to get my photo into more racers' hands. I put a lot of time into work into it, and I like to see my photos all over the internet, on Instagram, Facebook. I see it on TikTok sometimes. And it's really nice to see when people enjoy the photos. People are always telling me how much they love the photos. And so I was trying to find a way to have everyone access more photos instead of going through and spending potentially 30, 40 minutes looking through 1,000 photos that I take each race. I want to do bundles. And so if you pre-order your photos, I'll treat you almost like a sponsored racer that I do. And so say Chris comes to me before the race and says, hey, I want to pre-order all my photos for this year, for this race. I will start to take more photos of Chris when I can. And so I'll try to take more photos of Chris on the starting line. I'll try to look for him more in the woods. Last year with my sponsored racers, I made sure I would try to catch them every single lap. and I would use them kind of as markers before I would move my spot. And so all the pre-orders will get that same treatment. And then they'll also receive every digital photo that I edit. And I went through and I kind of evaluated how many photos on average I was getting of people that finished the whole race. So I went through and I looked at Tyrell's photos and Alec Vanderpool's photos, and I'm getting about 12 to 15 photos of them per race. And so it would be cheaper if they bought a bundle of the photos instead of every single photo. And so I'm doing it for all 3 races, so the minis, youth, and adults. And because there's different times, I get different amounts of photos. And so for the minis, I will be doing $25 for a bundle. So basically 2.5 photos worth is what you're paying. But say I get 7 photos of your mini racer, you get all 7 photos for the price of 2.5. And it's the same concept for the youth, which is $50, and the adults, that's $75.
I think that's I think that's a great idea. I really do. It's you and I've talked about this, but Chris, I know, remembers this too. But like when my kids would race, when Dave was at the GNCC, how much money did we used to spend, Chris? And not money, but time. You go up there and you're searching through all these photos that are live printed and they're up there, and man, it's so cool to get them at the rate, but it's like we probably spend $75 on average, and but it was there that day. But by you doing this, it's saving time, behind the scenes again for me as a racer and stuff. And are you going to get some that's not necessarily action shots, like some pit ones and stuff like that too?
Yeah, since I have the new lens, I'll be able to. So I want to start walking around the pit more before the races. I'll also start taking more photos on the starting line when people are getting ready, talking to their families, and then also start doing awards photos. So if I see you and you pre-order your photos, I'll make sure to include all those photos as well into your bundle.
I think that's cool. I thought you mainly did action shots, but when you said that you like use Chris as an example, I knew it wasn't just all action shots. That's why I wanted to ask you about that, so but no, I think that's a really cool idea. I love it that you're doing that. And you and I talked about this before, and I still say the same thing. If I know it's, you never know if your picture is going to get taken, it's always kind of a grab bag, but if I know that you're taking, these pictures, as many as you can of me, if I'm paying you that to do it, I'm not even going to get my camera out to go out in the, and take pictures. I'm not going to walk clear out there just to get a picture when I know that you've got these, and you typically have spots. I know we take you a couple places, some places you just get out there, but the hot spots, which we're still trying to work on that we can get that out there better. But we usually try to tell you on some of these spots a jump or, whatever that you can get. And I would say almost probably unique because they're most of the time they're a ways away from scoring and stuff. So the pits, but no, I think it's a great idea. I do have a question for you though. I know you had mentioned doing some race, what do I want to say? Like
photo shoots.
Yeah. Photo shoots.
Oh, that's a question we were asked. So
I
know you don't have your trifocals on today, so I'll read them for you.
Back a little bit. Yeah, that's cool. That question came up right when I was getting ready to ask you. So, what is that opportunity if we say for sponsorships? And I know this is all off the cuff. I don't want you to be prepared for any questions. You don't know what we're asking you tonight, but so let me take it one step at a time. Photo shoots, okay. But with your photo shoots, have you thought about doing like a postcard? You know what I mean? Like I just happen to have a couple right here.
Hero cards. Aren't
Yeah,
they?
hero cards,
Yeah.
Is that something that you've ever thought about doing to where like if I get a photo shoot done, you've already got those cool stuff for like sponsors and stuff to be able to hand out?
So I would love to start doing more photo shoots. I haven't really done too many, especially with ATVs. But I have been doing. Thank you, assistant. I've done a few race posters. Oh, sorry, it's flipped. But I put all of their sponsors on the bottom. I put Blue Crew because he rides a Yamaha, and then I put his name and then his racer number.
Now you can tell that was actual photo. That wasn't a live. That's a photo shoot, isn't it?
No,
Right.
this was on the racetrack.
Yeah.
Oh, it didn't look like he's going very fast.
But, so I've been doing more posters, not necessarily postcards, but it'd be something that would be pretty similar to make, which would be really cool to do. And I'm using it as a book. I have also done for some of the racers. Sorry, I wasn't prepared. I also made for a few racers a race photo album.
Oh,
And
cool.
so I went
Dang.
through, they kind of told me like if there's any specific photos they wanted, but I put together in race order all their different photos. There's a mic. So it's a
That's
nice
really cool.
race memorial, I would say. And so it's just something different. It's nice to look back on the memories. So I also make stuff like that too, if anyone's interested. I can pick out the photos like I did for this one, or for the Howards, they told me which photos they really wanted, and I put that together for them.
All right. I've got an order I want to put in.
Oh, wow.
I would, I want one with all the track crew. So I'd be the customer. Get one with all the track crew, but try to get one without Andy sitting on the machine.
That might be hard.
You don't understand. That's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to be on the machine. The only time I'm not is when I got to come to scoring.
In all reality, though, Sabrina, we'll hook up afterwards. But I'd like to get a book of the crew.
Oh, that'd be really
Start that tradition. So
Yeah, that is neat. I really like that. It's a good
Yeah,
idea.
and they're really nice quality. I don't know if it's kind of hard to see, but they're like really thick, and the pages are really nice and kind of
Yeah.
that soft material.
That is nice.
So
So packages are available. How do we get a hold of you before the races?
You can DM me on Facebook or Instagram.
Okay. And then there's still a number to you also on the website, I believe, correct?
My website is linked on the Iowa ATV website.
Okay.
I don't know if my phone number is on the Iowa ATV website.
So I refer a lot of people because it's on there where they have the plates at. Where you have the different colors of plates.
Oh,
Isn't it?
you're talking about under rules for off the
Yeah, it
the
shows
series
all
side.
the listing of the plates. That's where I always send everybody.
Nick's
It's
website
got
is
just it's got Nick's website, BowGrunMotorsports.com.
Okay. But that's the right number though, correct? I mean, they can call you on that one too if they had to, or is that just Nick's?
it's
That's
just
an
Nick.
email address.
I can have Zach add me on there.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Probably
Zach.
need to. That way we get it. We'll do an update on that and get your stuff so it's easy to get a hold of them.
So
But
speaking of assistants, he put out here a comment. Thanks for watching live and boosting our views, Nick. He put out a discount code for those within the series. So good.
nice. One thing when I've talked to new riders and stuff and sent them your way is you're the one making the stuff for us, the different colors. It's like, all you got to do is tell them the class. So they're not, sometimes they're confused on a brand new one, like what color do I need? You guys have all that. So it just takes 2 or 3 steps out of it, So, well, I'm excited for the photos. I think you're on the right track there. I think that's going to be really cool. That photo album is really neat. You've already sold one in the first 10 seconds of talking about it. So that's pretty cool. So,
Well, while we got her here, I'd like to reward those who did the questionnaire. So Sabrina, on behalf of the podcast, if you pick out a number between 2 and 199, that person will get a free bundle on behalf of the podcast for filling out a questionnaire.
Ooh.
So you give me a number and I'll go over here and come up with the winner.
Between 1 and 199.
Yeah.
Let's do 115. Hopefully it's not Nick.
Kip Sheets.
Kip Sheets.
Yeah, we'll reach out to them, let them know. Andy will give them a call. I think you got
Sweet.
let them know that got a free photo or a free bundle. So they just let you know which round. And, we'll
awesome.
That's a family that's been with us for a long time. So,
and he's in the adult class, junior class. So
junior,
yep.
Nice. Oh man, Sabrina, you need to come on more often. You already sold a bundle.
I know.
Yeah. Also, we have some new tents that are going to be there sometime, maybe before the first race if we're lucky.
Should be done next week.
Is it next week? Cool.
Yeah.
So another thing that you've designed for us, so yeah. Well, I really appreciate all the effort and the work you put in and the late calls that you get all the time for, Chris just remembered something. So I want to make sure that you got this. I know that happens quite a bit. So, but yeah. Anything else going on that would help us? Let me ask you this though, real quick. What time do you typically get to the track, or what are you planning on getting there this year?
It depends on the race. So Trenton, I took off work because it's a further drive. So we'll be getting to Trenton around lunchtime. And normally we get to the races around 7:30 or 8 a.m. But I'm going to try to start showing up earlier this year, because it makes for a long day when we show up right at race time.
Yeah. So I was just asking so people want to talk to you at the race, or, and sometimes it's not getting signed up, for the bundle or something before, but maybe I can get it done at the race, or something. And are you going to have like a form to fill out if they do it at the race?
No, I don't have any form, but if you're at the race, just come talk to me if you can find me. I'll pretty much take a pre-order until your race starts. So if you're racing at the adults, just come talk to me before like 1 o'clock. And you can also do bundles after the race is over. I'm still going to post all the single photos like normal. So I'll edit all of the pre-ordered bundles, and then I'll edit all the singles, post them. And then once those are done, if someone wants to order a bundle, I'll still put all the photos together in a package for you. You just won't get that extra bonus of faster edits and then potentially more photos during the race.
Gotcha. And then I forgot what I was going to say. With what you just mentioned, though, so the bonus, though, by doing it before is that that number so you can make sure you get the pictures, as many as you can, right? Yeah. Okay. So there's definitely a bonus on getting it done before. So, yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
I think that's everything. I know there is another little bonus, though, by getting your photos, is where do we get all of our photos now for the T-shirts?
Me?
There you go. So we gotta, you've got to have those pictures and stuff. So, I mean, that's something right there. I mean, that's why we went with, just your photos, is because we know that they're going to be the right quality, and we've had some that's you just can't read. I wish I could hold this one up to see it, but I can see like her sponsors and stuff on her machine, but so many times we get them that's just taken too far back, or the speed, and now you're on the shirt, but it's all blurry, we don't want that. So, so that's really cool. But yeah, so that's another plus of getting them from you is you will have, at least all the shirts for the T-shirts and stuff as well. So Cool. Chris, do you have anything else?
No, I'm just here to give things away tonight.
That sounds like it. So, Sabrina, what are you most looking forward to this year? Is there anything on the calendar? Is there something? Is it doing the bundles? I mean, what is it that's motivating you for this year that you're looking most forward to?
I am really excited to use my new lens. I've been putting it off for about a year and a half, and I'll be able to get in a lot more spots because of it. With my distance lens, there would be spots that I would really want to take pictures at, but I was just too close to be able to get the whole racer. So with the new lens, I can be in a lot more spots and get the cool action shots.
Nice. Yeah. Cool. Well, Chris, maybe we can even get some action shots coming from the scoring tent this year.
We'll try.
There's always stuff going on there.
Calm is good though at scoring.
Very true.
I mean, if it's chaotic, there's something going on.
Yep. But that's some of the shots I like the most, Sabrina, is like maybe a scoring like when Chris doesn't even know it, or if, I might be buying a bundle from you, but you're taking pictures over here. It's not like mom taking a picture. I mean, we're all posing, smiling. You get the real, and I kind of gravitate a lot to just those types of photos sometimes, because it's just different, and you kind of see the people. I mean, I'm guessing with your new photo, you could have 50 pictures of Joe Lutz alone, 25 with a cigarette and 25 with a Mountain Dew in his hands,
I'll make for a good album.
Right. Now, hopefully you get one whole shot this year. We're pulling all of our efforts together and, pushing and praying for him to get a whole shot this year. So if him and Paul Sirk, if they get a whole shot, I want to buy the photo. I'm telling you right now, since Chris is giving everything away, I want to buy the photo if you get Joe Lutz or Paul Sirk getting a whole shot.
Oh man, okay.
I know those are hard shots. So I want one. If you get them, I'll buy the photo from you. So
all right.
Just to prove that they did happen. So
hopefully they're trying for it this year.
I think they will. Yeah, I think they will. So cool.
Yeah.
Well,
just 1 week away. No, 1 full week for some of us. So.
Yeah, some of us will be at the track in a week.
Yeah. So, well, thanks, Sabrina, for coming on and answering all of Andy's questions and sharing the information, not only just the photos that they can order off the website that you upload after every round, but the other little things, the posters. I'm sure if somebody needed a resume, those are kind of off. I call them off season, or off time if they need a resume built for sponsors, or even I like what Andy was flashing. Those were the Kaiser and Macy Troy's hero cards. I mean, those are awesome, especially the little kids to hand those out. I mean, I don't have any displayed here yet, but yeah, I've got a pile over on my desk of all the hero card from the kids. So
yeah, those look really cool.
So, all right. Well, we'll let you go. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks
check
for
your Venmo. I sent you some cash, so check it and confirm. I used Andy's bank account, so we'll
Thanks,
see you in
Chris.
a week and a half or so.
Thanks, Sabrina.
Thanks.
She's got a lot going on.
The book was new. Depending on who you are, but like a yearbook to go back and say, here's all my photos from this year. I mean, they're all together. They're printed. I mean, why not?
And she was showing that, I thought too, man, if I'd happen to win my class the year that you won the championship, that would be so neat,
Yeah.
Yeah, really cool.
And I'm sure that she could, if you have a family, it's a good family album too. Look what we did Look at Bodorfs or the Troys and Gaysinks, those bigger families that all kind of are together, get them all of them and be able to show that off.
Yeah. This is why we race.
Yeah.
Huh. Cool. Well, you took more than your 15 minutes that you talked about.
Oh, I did. Yeah. So, which we can go over. I mean, what I kind of threw together the last couple of nights is just kind of classes and potentially who's registered in those classes. It does not reflect, if we bring this up, what that class is going to be, because I know for some of these classes, guys that either didn't fill out the questionnaire or just hasn't, or prefers to show up and pay and fill out the paperwork at the track. So we can bring it up. We can go ahead and talk about it.
So really quick, before you get into there, leave that up though. I'm seeing that you do have, and I'm sure it's mainly my communication, but on the pre-entry and stuff, we had some hiccups, I guess you'd call it. And you mentioned to me that we only had 190, so you signed in under 90 stock. How did you get all this way then? All of them?
Well, when we determine classes and I'm not 100% accurate. If there's something that doesn't look right, we can take care of us at registration first round, but it's all based off of the child's age or the racer's age as of January 1.
So did you go back and separate all them to figure out what class they were in then, since it was just one? Okay.
Yep. And while we've been on the podcast, I sent Zach a message too, so we can get those updated or those selections updated.
Sure. Yep. So talk to me. What do we got here then?
So I just kind of threw it together and getting some messaging already. Again, this is so many messages have come in. People want to change classes last second. Got a request right now popping up on my phone, somebody wanting to change. We'll get it done. If we don't get it done now and it's not on the paperwork, we'll get it done at registration. But I just kind of threw it together just so we can kind of see what the classes look like. Making me, looking at these results, making me question whether or not we got the age selection right. But, again, it's early on to say the 90 stock 12 to 14 class is a little low. But that could pick up, and there's reasons for that. It looks like a bunch of the kids jumped to 90 production. If I remember, and I got Kindle there listed a couple times in 90 production class, that this is probably one of the bigger 90 production classes that we've had in several years.
Yeah, absolutely.
Looking at overall kids. Highlight 70 production, we got brother sister going to go head to head in the same class with Bryant and Audrey Hell.
Yeah.
And Coulter Smiley, he's in 70 production. He actually should be in a 90 production, so we'll get that corrected. It's also good to see, if you're looking at the 90 stock 8 to 9, some kids moved up, but there are several new kids that have signed up and indicated that they'll race at some point in the year. So, anything kind of stand out for you for the kids classes?
No, they all look pretty good. Our 50 productions always, between it and Super Mini, are always fighting for the smallest class,
Mm-hmm.
But it's a big stepping stone between a 50 stock and a 50 production,
Yeah.
So 50 limited, I know that'll grow, no doubt in my mind. When people start signing up, that's always seems like 20, 25 every time, but a lot of people's moved up from there too. So
exactly.
Yeah. So you want to go through, and you see the people coming through scoring all the time. Give us your pick for these classes.
Man, I don't want to pick. I don't like to pick. I don't want to put
I was going to say
anything
good
on
luck.
anybody. No, it's going to be interesting with some of the 50 limited kids. That's our smallest group here. Looks like a couple are returning to that class, but just to see how that class does overall. And then the other class I would probably keep an eye on this year is the stock 8 to 9 year olds. These are either 1 year of experience with the series or for this class. So it's all going to be about that shifting. How well are they able to shift and both up and down, and how comfortable are they on their machines?
Yep.
So, which we see some videos. Mimi's out there, Faulkner's out there riding. I see videos. I think Dakota Bernard's going to be good. He'll be up there top 5, I think, at the end of the year. We'll just see.
Remember, we had like 15 or 20 kids out there a couple weeks ago practicing all together.
Yeah,
that was really cool.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious. Ace is jumping up to a 90 stock. Sommerfeld, I'm curious to see how he does. I mean, he was pretty fast on the 50. So we'll see. A lot of experience in that class.
I was just getting ready to say the same thing. Isn't it cool that you look at, say, a 90 stock 8 to 9 year old, and somebody comes to the race and it's like, man, that kid is flying. How long's he been racing? And he said, well, he's got 5 years experience, you know, already at 9 years old, half of these kids. So it's unbelievable. But no, this looks very promising. I see a lot of good battles. Yeah. I know you got to take one out of the 70 production, which that's 2, 4, 5 there right now, counting Coulter. But I know we have another young lady that's going to be in the 70 production, so that'll even that back out to 5. So and that's only the pre-registered too, right?
Yep.
So,
and that 90 production, we already mentioned it. Holy, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I see.
Talk about experience.
1, 2, possibly 3, 4, 5, at least 5, maybe 6 of those that I assumed would be in the 90 stock this year. You know, and they went straight to the production.
Yep.
And that's, boy, you can't give enough credit. I mean, you got to be willing to say, I'm going to the top class, and know that you got to put your time in to get up front in that class. It's always a tough class, but man, give them credit for saying, I want to go race, that class. That's a tough one.
I know. Even super mini. I mean, any one of those 4, on any given day, I think could be up there on the top of the podium.
Yeah. Tay Lynn's, I'm just looking at that class, for example. Tay Lynn won her, I don't know if she's won 1 or 2 GNCCs this year. So I think it's a different class, obviously, in GNCC, but it might be the same machine. So there's a lot of these kids that's getting some experience already before the season even starts. So no, it looks really good.
Yeah. Well, let's switch over to adults. So see if we can talk through this in 5 minutes or less. And by no means, I think we're a little light on these numbers. That there's some people I know that aren't on this list. Joe Lutz, not calling him out. I know he texted me to switch classes, but I didn't see a questionnaire. So we'll have to make sure Joe gets updated.
I see Paul Sirk.
I put in Paul. I'd help him out. But yeah, even, talking about the plus 50, that's not on here. Jim Fox isn't on here. Rob's not on here. So there's still some guys that are missing from that class that fill it out. Open utility. We've got some a mixed bag so far. Some that are coming back. Josh Jones, he's raced once last year, if I remember right. Devin Bowling's moving up from utility class. So
I thought Devin wasn't open last year.
Was he? Could be. Could be.
No, that
double A is really light. I know that we're missing guys, so
sure. Yeah.
But one class to call out is the junior class. This is again, I mean, this is one of the bigger classes I think that we've have.
See some brand new names in there. See some that's moving up. See some they've proven their speed, already.
Yep. And Oliver Yarrington, he's gonna looks like he's pulling double duty this year. So that's
Styles has moved up to a junior class.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if he runs like he did in '90s, he'll be a competitor right away.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one thing that probably catches me even more than junior is the C26 plus. The last couple of years, I think it's pretty decent size in the beginning, but you get three, last 2 or 3 races, it seems like we're always down to like 5,
Yeah.
And always questions, do we need to put them back together? Do we need to keep them split? The pre-registrations help us kind of look at that, and it definitely looks like they probably deserve to be split. So,
yeah.
But yeah, I would say same thing. I think A and AA will be much larger. I mean, all the classes I think will be, but that's a darn good start knowing it's just pre-registrations there. So,
Yeah. Yeah, that B class got some guys returning the same class. Schreier's, I slaughter their name, but Dalton and Peyton have sound like they're coming back. So that'll give both B class and then also the women's class some, which we're missing a couple now that I look at the women's class that aren't on here. Trinity's not on here.
I don't think Trinity's racing this year. She tore up her knee. I think she had to have surgery, and I don't think she's racing this year.
Gotcha.
Because of that. So it seems to me like there is at least 1 or 2 other women. I thought we had a new one coming this year. I don't see in there.
The Kolsches, you mentioned them last week. Jake returning. Both
Yeah.
Cole's racing B, and Elena's going to race women's class.
Taking her mom's spot, huh?
Yeah.
What's I'm looking at utility. There's a name in there. Travis Troy. It's racing utility class.
And it won't be his first race. I just saw this afternoon he already raced one. So Travis is going to give her a go.
Kevin had shot me a text last Saturday, I think. That they went out and raced an IXCR race to get ready. And
Nice.
I meant to call Travis on Sunday. I was going to ask him how he was feeling, but I forgot to do it. So.
I was wondering why I didn't see him in the shop on Friday. Dropped off a vehicle to get some service done on it and got a tour of Honest Wrenches.
Nice.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if Travis really wanted to race or if it was just his wife pushing him to race. I was always curious about that, if he was doing it for him or if he was just doing it for her, but no, a lot of new names in there though.
Yep.
It's really interesting. So even 30 plus
I mean,
looks absolutely loaded this year. Look at some of them names.
I know you can't pick. I think Blake Styles is making a return, right? Well, we'll see.
Yep. Have two Styles out there racing same time. Cody Westcott's coming back.
Yeah.
Jeremy Turner's coming back. Just in that one class, Zach Johnson. Yeah, that's Gary Eads plus 30. Made the change. He was A class last year, wasn't he? Yeah, he won A class. Yeah. Huh. Clay Whelan. Good to see him back.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, that looks
Good.
pretty good. Some of them names really surprised me. Oh, Robbie Inquist is back.
Yes. That was I had to question that. I'm like, was that spelled right when that questionnaire was done? But yeah.
Huh. Yeah. Alex Hayes is back.
Yep.
Boy, you start going through each class and it's very nice. Heck yeah. No, it looks good, bud. Good job getting that done.
Yep. Like I said, it's not 100% accurate. I know there's some numbers that are questionable. Utility class Shane Rivas doesn't have a number. And I kind of just threw this together based on requested numbers. So there could be probably some shakeup with the numbers. I didn't want to display them, but I thought I was just kind of just throw it out there because as always, we need to request the numbers between with you and Tracy. And oftentimes we get a duplicate. So those will all be double checked and confirmed. Most likely, I know I think like 40 of them I've got to confirm with Tracy just because they requested it. And I don't know if they went through you guys first. So
Gotcha.
We'll get those all looked at as well.
Yeah, we've handed out a lot of new numbers, that's for sure. But, yeah, that looks really nice. Anything else new that you know of for the year?
Well, there's something about the start that you want to tell me about.
Yeah. I'm very excited on that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really bummed that we had to wait another 2 or 3 weeks to do it. But on the starting line, yep, it'll be at the starting line. So it's pretty excited for that. But we'll get some reviews on it.
Otherwise, after the last podcast, what blew up? I thought 2250 was a high number, and then all of a sudden I'm seeing a message from you Wednesday morning that jumped to 3,000.
Yeah, that's nuts.
So,
yeah, that's
$3,000 for a whole shot challenge.
Yeah, and just so everybody knows, I have talked to I guess we could put that out there. So we did do, I took a picture so I wouldn't forget this. I'm glad you brought that up. So official. You don't have to do a drum roll or anything like that.
Okay, I wasn't going to.
We are putting a cap on it. We have had at least one other person. So is it Britton Gray? He was the one that came in the fourth person. So we got to thank him. I just seen his pre-registration. But Kyle Croak called me. Was it last week? I think it was after the podcast, the next day maybe. and said that him and Gray had talked, and Gray wanted to get in on it too, which took us from that $2,250 up to $3,000 for our whole shot challenge. So thank all four of those guys, and that being Tyrell Kerr, Adam Siebold, Kyle Crope. Is that right? Crop or Crope?
Crow.
I got to figure that out for the awards. And then Gray Britton. That's the four that's done it. We're going to cap it because you and I talked about this.
Yeah.
If you want to do it, think about these guys that did it this year. Maybe someone else can step up next year, you know. But we want to make sure we can make this thing last instead of just having one big shindig, you know. So, but yes, we got $3,000. So I basically let the guys, they're the ones putting their hard-earned money into it, Chris. So we just kind of group texted and we talked to Tyrell a little bit, came up with figures, and everybody agreed to it. And I think it's really cool what Tyrell came up with. So instead of starting with the first, we started with not last, but fourth place. Now, keep in mind, Chris, when I tell you this, fourth place has never gotten paid before. Ironically, do you know who got fourth last year? Tyrell. Tyrell put the money up for first, second, and third, and he got fourth. But it's really cool. He came up with this, and so fourth place that's never ever been paid before is going to get $350. And you know how these guys came up with that price or that dollar amount?
Who came up with that?
Well, they all agreed to it, but truly Tyrell's the one that came up with it. But $350, you know what that stands for?
That's basically paying for your race. On my guess, doing math, paying for your racing all year long as a reward.
I already told you. You didn't come up with that on your own.
Come on, give me some credit.
Yes. So basically, the last race of the year, you're going to compete and have a chance at, if you get fourth, that's never been paid before, you get $350, and that will make it that you've raced all year for free. That is pretty darn cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, except double A's. There's a little bit more, but so let me start at the top now. The top will get $1,250 to win. Okay. Remember, a purse has only been $750 for a purse before, and now the winner alone is getting $1,250. Second place is getting $850, still more than our purse has ever been. Third place, $550, and then again, fourth place, new this year, $350.
Gotcha.
That's pretty cool. On top of that, you get your whole shot, Hotsy whole shot prizes. So I sure hope more people take it serious about getting involved, you know, and doing it. I think we're going to look at times this year. We don't have the adult 90 class. So it might be that we can possibly do this, not promising anything, but we might be able to get this in between, you know, a couple rounds between the first and second race. Maybe even get it all done there, or get it done, the finals, maybe after the second race, you know, between the second and the adults. But with them guys racing there, but at least I'm saying there's a good chance it might not have to be at, say, 7:30 in the morning, you know. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool, though. I'm glad you brought that up. So
yeah, I voiced my concern. I thought I was getting a little too high. So glad we put a cap on that. I want to see it last. I just don't want it to be this whole shot, and that's what it stands out for, and then just goes away. So
right. No, I agree. But outside of that, that's about all I got really for this week.
I know.
I think everything's looking good. We're getting close. Registrations are up. Scoring's ready with some new stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah. Now we all just start doing our dance for no rain instead of a rain dance. So
Jared, sheets, keep your pants on.
Exactly. So, yeah, no, that's about all I got though, Chris.
All right.
Close
Well,
to
look
a
at
1 hour.
Close to an hour. This is Andy hour time, so it's good. So, got anything for what's bugging Andy this week?
I really don't.
That's
No.
the favorite. That's the most favorite segment of the whole podcast.
That'll probably come up once we start having the races a lot more.
Yeah.
That and the penalty box, Chris McKean, I think you said you're sponsoring the penalty box. So, yeah. So once we have a race, though, hopefully that one don't fill up, or the what's bugging Andy. But seems like there's always something that pops up, and like we said, we're going to be more transparent, make sure people know what's done, what's being done. Yeah. Outside of that,
Yeah, no,
I think all good.
All right. Well, then we'll
Good
leave it
luck
at
there.
that. We'll get a podcast in next Tuesday, right?
Yep.
Another
The
hour.
following week, we might have to change it though.
That would be the week of the 28th, right?
28th, yeah.
We have a conflict on the 28th of April. That was usually our post race. I think we can make an exception and do a different day. I just need to confirm a few things.
Yeah. Yep. So that's always a big one for us the week after. So,
Yep.
But no,
What else?
I think everything's good. We're hopefully this time next week, there still won't be any what's bugging Andy. And we will kind of dial everything in for the race and talk about what's new. And yeah, outside of that, it may be a short one next week too. So maybe we can have our first guest on next week. Talk about maybe some preparation, that they've done or what they prepared for, Maybe we start with Joe Lutz and see how much Mountain Dew he's had.
Speaking of that comment.
Oh, jeez.
Thanks, Joe, for the laugh. Yeah, I'll reach out and get that completed for you.
Oh, nope. I'm good, Chris. I think we're pretty much everything.
Yeah, we're good. Good guests. Can't thank Sabrina. We have our Sabrina, all the photos that joined, but we also have Zach behind the scenes. So it's been a productive podcast on air and on the side over here. Zach's already made my changes I needed.
Oh wow,
he's so quick. So yeah, we had a little mix up with the 90 classes online when you register. So that's all fixed now. So
speaking of Zach, we already talked about Sabrina being our social media and our photographer and anything else we throw at her, tent design, such and such. Sabrina's coming from Chicago, basically, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And Zach, I think, was really questionable on being able to make it. I think it's his uncle is Rob Dabadak, but they're both up by the Canadian border. So that's crazy that them two that help so much are so far away. But good thing with Zach, it's it's all stuff over the computer. So, but hopefully he stays away from the dunes this year and is able to complete a whole year. So
he's got his little guy's going to race this year.
I wonder who mom is going to put more bubble wrap on, the little one or Zach?
Probably Zach.
Probably Zach, yeah. That changes everything, though. We've both been through it when the kids go out there to race. And I know you've seen this, but I don't mean it in a bad way, but I got to say, I get a kick out of it every year. The new moms and dads too, but usually the new moms, right? And we see this process, just like we talk about the kids. We know that, how many times do we see them really, really nervous on the line, you know? And then we get to the end and these kids are just like, you know, having fun with their buddies on the line and we're going to go race. And they went from here to here, you know, by the first to the seventh race. But the cool part is mom's still nervous, but lots of times you see her shaking at the first race and the last race, you know, she's hanging out with her new girlfriends and, you know, parents and kids. And it just, everything's chill at the end because they've grown leaps and bounds, you know, as far as skill level and you know, nerves. And it's pretty cool seeing that whole process. So, and we've both been through it with our kids racing, you know, it changes everything. I mean, I used to love racing, but it was nothing compared to getting to see my kids, you know, like we just talked, the nervous to like, let them go, you know, and yeah, it's just, can't beat it. So,
So, all right, buddy, 1 week, give a countdown.
sounds good.
Okay. All right. Well, those have joined or stayed on, thanks. And those who are going to watch later, thanks. We'll join next week again with a guest. And you'll come up with a guest next Tuesday morning. Let me know, right?
It's got to be by Tuesday morning.
I mean,
It's usually like noonish.
oh my God. Stretch.
I'll work on it.
All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you later.
See ya.